Welcome to Destination Unknown with Doreen. Today's guest is Miyanna. How are you today?
Good. How are you?
I am good. Today's topic is a life after divorce because Miyanna and I have gone through divorce, so we know the experience. So we wanted to give you guys advices and tips and a little bit of sharing of experiences. So we're going to start with you. Let's just talk about a little bit about you so people can get to know you and know who you are.
Okay.
What do you do? Who are you? And yeah, go ahead.
So my name's Miyanna, and I go by Mia. I am a single mom of 3 beautiful kids, ages 5, 7, 9, getting up there. But yeah, I am an advisor for cybersecurity programs and other tech programs that basically provide continuing education for other individuals who are looking for career changes. But yeah, I moved here for the job and I love it.
Yes.
The desert is, believe it or not, I really like hiking out here. And I find that a lot of people here just very chill, very laid back. And it's been amazing.
Yes.
For the kids and I. So
Have you gone to Camelback?
yes.
Yeah, you have? Oh my God. Actually, I'm scared of that one because I'm scared of heights. That's one I'm like, oh, let me stay away from this one.
I love Camelback, and our favorite is South Mountain.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get right into it, right? So how long were you married for?
5 years.
5 years?
Yeah.
And do you want to talk about the experience? Like what happened, like a little bit like not so much into details like what happened, why you guys broke up, but like what happened to get you to the part of the divorce. Did you know that it was over, or were you surprised when the divorce hit, or was it you who filed for divorce, or was it him?
Yes. So he filed for divorce. We had been going through a hard time for, I think, like over a year.
A year, okay.
So, and things were just kind of crazy. We were already in counseling, so we were trying to resolve it. And I was like fat and pregnant.
No.
3rd kid.
Yeah.
But we had been going through a lot as far as like past histories and stuff. My ex grew up super strict religious background. I did not.
Yeah.
And so therefore, like, there were things that clashed. And till this day, like, even when we were married, that I was like, why is this a problem? But like, you know, I had history with college and things, and like, he never had that.
Yeah.
So for him, I think he was always very kind of jealous about that and a little bit possessive, but it's just more of, I think for him, he felt like he never got to experience that. And so getting married, we got married so early and young that he never experienced it and kind of always like wondered what that was about.
Yeah, like he wanted to experience the single life before the marriage? Okay.
Yeah, and I think he was jealous that I had experienced that. And so in the context of things, I wasn't always comfortable talking about my past with him, of just like being a college girl or just things that had happened. And I think that got in between our relationship to a certain point when things were already just like going south, that broke the straw kind of a deal. So yeah.
So he was more like wanting to know like your past and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Did he know you back then when you were going to college?
No, not really. So
no. Why would you want to know about your past in college?
Yeah.
I think like college experiences should just be left in college.
That's what I say too. So it's just like, I remember we were talking about it one night, again, like about pregnant and stuff. And I was like, yeah, you know, like obviously I've had past boyfriends and things. And I remember he was just like, oh my gosh, you dated like in college and you had other boyfriends and you had other partners. And I was like, yeah. And I remember he was just kind of like, oh, well, that's great. Like, so it was kind of scary because, like, you know, I'd had some health things also in the past, and those were things that I was like, like, I'm just gonna like let that go and stuff. And it freaked him out because he was just like, well, like, what if that affects us? What if like anything worse could have happened to you when you were younger? And I was like, it's okay, it's fine. And like, I just feel like that was a scapegoat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So rather than like trying to resolve it, all of a sudden it just became like this bitter pillar for us. And it was like, he would not let it go. He was angry. He was upset. He was like, I want a divorce. And I was like, I'm pregnant. Like, can you wait till after? Can we like try to resolve it? And it was just like horrendous because counseling wasn't even working at that point.
Know,
So
I bet.
I was shocked at the timing of him like doing that.
Especially when you're pregnant. Like, that's crazy.
So, and like, not very many people know this, but you can't finalize a divorce when your partner's pregnant. So,
See, I did not know that.
Yeah.
That's actually shocking.
It is
But that's a
shocking.
good thing.
yeah. So it was just like, I was already dealing with like growing this human.
Yeah.
And then I had this divorce thrown on me, and it was like 180. Like, just as soon as that was filed, he like moved out, got into an apartment with his best friend that I never was a fan of. And then
Is this a girl best friend or a guy?
No, guy
okay,
best
a guy
friend.
best friend.
So
okay.
it's just kind of weird because, you know, again, he never had those experiences. So it's like all of a sudden he went and like
An
did
experience.
that.
Okay.
So then I was just like taking care of the house, the kids, like pregnant alone. So it was like really traumatic.
It's actually sad because it's like, you know, like when you're pregnant, you're supposed to be going through like your, you know, you're supposed to be like happy because you're like caring and nurturing a human being inside of you. You're supposed to be stressing out about like divorce and stuff like that. So I'm sorry that you went through that. So, but like, what's one advice you would give to like stay-at-home moms who are married right now? What's the best advice you would give them so that way they don't go through a similar experience? Because I know you're not the only one who's gone through these experiences. So like, what's the best advice you should give them?
Love yourself.
Love yourself, yeah.
Love yourself, because divorce is very ugly, and I think it makes both partners feel bad about themselves because divorce is not supposed to be beautiful. Like,
it's not at all. It almost feels like death, to be honest. Yeah.
It really is. You're grieving, you're sad, but don't forget who you are. Don't forget that like you matter, and
exactly,
that
yeah.
no matter what's thrown at you or who says what and thinks poorly or good of you, like just still love yourself throughout all of it, because as like those who are out there that are married, those moms that stay at home, like your kids are still everything to you.
Exactly, yeah.
And like they're going to look to you for support, and so like if you don't love yourself and allow yourself to like process and feel things, then I think that's allowing like your kids to also kind of like not be allowed to love themselves through a difficult time. So it's like how you feel about yourself reflects about how your kids are eventually going to feel about yourself.
That's true.
And it's okay that things aren't going to always work out, but I do believe the way that you handle those situations says a lot about your character. So if like a mom goes through that, which I wish I could say I was the last mom that was going to get divorced, but I'm not. So I would just honestly advise, like, no matter what, just remember, like, to love yourself throughout this entire traumatic experience, and that, you know, your kids love you, people love you, and you're going to be okay.
Yeah. I would say, too, like, like, usually, I would say keep it the same way you were when you guys were dating. Mm-hmm. Like, keep the flames going as well, so that way you can, like, whether you want to avoid the divorce or not, or like, and I always advise women, like, always like, you need to keep working out and things like that, and you need to work on your body, on your soul, and everything else. Don't give up on yourself. I know, because we're moms, like, or we get busy with the kids, but like I always say, like, get in like at least 30 minutes in each day to work out, because you want to stay looking good and looking like the way you looked, almost like the same way like when you first met him. So that way you don't feel like, oh, if he was to leave you, then all of a sudden you have to restart over. You have to go back to working out. You have to start over with work. And then I would say, even like if you're a stay-at-home mom, like try to find like a passion and start working on it. So that way, if your husband is the one who makes the money and ends up leaving you with nothing, you at least have something to fall back on, you know, because a lot of women get left with nothing unless you have a prenup already, or you're granted a nice big sum after your divorce. Usually you have to pay the lawyers and all that stuff. So you have to work, like, definitely, I would say, like, work on yourself and never give up on yourself, and like, and also like try, I mean, keep the guy as your best friend, but like have like one good close friends that's also like good with the husband, so that way it's not the husband that hates that one friend because you know, so that way you can always have somebody to like have to go back to if anything was to happen, like a good friend, a good support moral, because a lot of people don't have friends and then they end up getting divorced and they have nothing. Yeah, because like when I went through my divorce, I literally had no one here because I had no family here. I just had him and my kids, and because I went to school for paralegal studies, I was able to like kind of like so I didn't even like hire a lawyer when we went through my divorce. I kind of just did my own thing, because I remember when I was going to school, we had one assignment that says like if a family was to get divorced, how would you want it to handle? So I literally pretended that the family was us, and I wrote down everything that I would want and the outcome of the divorce, and literally I kind of went for the same thing. I looked at it, I was just like, this is what I want, and I pretty much got most of the things that I wanted, just because I'm very persistent.
I love
and
that.
you don't want to deal with me when I'm mad. I'm just kidding. But yeah, okay. And then so, were you working at that time when were you working, or you just a stay-at-home mom?
No, I was completely a stay-at-home mom.
So what did you do? Like, what's the advice what did you end up doing after that? Like when he left the house, did you?
So I moved back home because I was 8 months pregnant, and I remember at the time, like, my ex-husband was like, well, you can possibly stay with my sister, because he had a lot of family where we lived, and I was like, I feel really uncomfortable right now doing that with the situation. So I moved back home with my family in their house, and then just kind of like let the time pass, and then had the baby. So, and then after having the baby, we stayed with them for, I think, like a little bit over a year, maybe a year and a half. But basically it's just like all transition. Transitioning into like a divorcee, transitioning into a mom of 3, like it just was a lot. And I really I'm really grateful that I had my support system, like you were saying, because
that's true.
I think that is a game changer for anybody going through that, is like to make sure that you have that support. Yeah.
How did your kids handle that? If you don't mind talking about it just a little bit.
Totally.
Yeah.
So they were really sad.
They were.
I mean, because you know, when your kids are like used to 2 parents in the
home,
the
house,
and then they're not, like, they were sad, and so it was kind of devastating for them. But I also felt like our bond got super strong.
Stronger, yeah.
And it was very, even till this day, like people will see that like we have a very special bond.
You.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm glad for that. And to be honest, like sometimes like I'm like, it's hard to have kids when you go through a divorce, but it's also like it's satisfying. It's actually like it gives you more gratitude, because it's like, okay, granted, I don't have what I used to have, but at least I have these little human beings who are always, because they can tell sometimes when you're sad, and they'll come and just start and cuddling with you and like make you feel good. So were they helpful with the baby and stuff like that?
They were amazing. Yeah. They were so sweet, and just like holding their little brother, and so excited, and just like proud, like, here's my baby brother. And I was just like, oh, my heart.
I just want to say you that I praise you for like being such a strong woman, because sometimes I'm like, I hear stories like this and I'm like, I don't know how I would handle it, but like you know, you never know how to. A lot of people say I don't know how to handle it until you get put in that situation. So like, I praise you, because that's like, it's hard to go through that, especially when you're pregnant and have to go through the divorce while instead of enjoying like the newborn and things like that. So like, I praise you, you're a queen. And like, so you were gonna keep shining, okay, keep thriving. You got this. Because if you seriously, if you met through that, you can like go through anything in life. Okay. That's why I always tell people, you should be afraid of women. Okay.
Yes, I totally agree with that. But yeah, just support was amazing. Like, it was very traumatic for me, because I remember giving birth in the hospital, like, by myself. And
he wasn't there? Oh no,
he wasn't there. And I just remember I was scared. Like, I also wanted the birth to get over with, because I was just like, I'm done,
right? Because you want to be able to do your own things, but you have like a thing that you're carrying.
Yeah, you're just like, oh, you know, because like I remember it was just nuts. I was signing divorce papers left and right up until the day we were going to the hospital, and I was just like, I'm mentally fatigued. I am physically fatigued. I just want this part over with. So I was like ready to do it, but I was so lucky. I had a best friend who drove from another state to be there with me.
Aww.
And I just, even till this day, like I just have so much appreciation for her because even though it was like a bleak, like I'm giving birth by myself sort of a situation, like she brought magazines, she brought nail polish, she treated the whole like hospital stay like it was a girl's night, even though you knew what was gonna happen.
Yeah, exactly.
And yes, she did see everything. So
those are the best. Those are the best friends you need to keep for life, because the fact that she was there instead of like your ex being there, like that means a lot, and it's like. It's like almost like a sister, to be honest, and praise her too. Okay, all right, go ahead, Queen.
But yeah, like I said, I really lucked out with support, so
yeah,
I can't do it by myself.
How long has it been since you've been divorced now?
5 years.
5 years. So you were married for 5 years, and then you've been divorced for 5 years. Mm-hmm. Where do you see your? Are you dating? Are you currently dating right now, or is this an off topic? Should we talk about this?
I'm not dating. I'm not dating at all right now.
Why? Because Arizona dating is what?
Oh, yes. We've talked about this before. So, yeah, when I first moved
Matt
here.
is laughing because he knows how it is. It's straight up a joke, okay?
Yeah. When I first moved here, I had a much older coworker. I respect him still to this day, and he's a very blunt man. And he told me, he said, these gentlemen here, dating is like, digging in the trash can. And I didn't believe him. And then I realized it was exactly like that. And even when you thought you found something genuine and real, like it was fake. So.
Literally. And I'm like, what? I'm like still questioning these relationships sometimes.
So it's just like, and like, I feel like you and I get each other because like, it's not that we like, hate men entirely.
No, I don't hate men because I love men, but
but it's just more of like I feel like you and I right now are just like we're building our empires.
Yeah, exactly. I'm
excited about that. Like I'm actually more afraid of somebody stopping me in that because in a partner, I would need someone who's not like, oh, how high are you going to jump? Don't jump. Like I need a partner that's like, oh, how high do you want to jump? And I'm like, yes.
Exactly, who's very supportive.
Exactly.
And that's what I've been saying too, because like I find that whenever guys come towards my aura and they want to date me or fake date me, more like hooking up, whatever, I'm always like, you're a distraction to me. Because when I start dating, I like to concentrate on the guy, and I don't know why I do that. It's such a, like, I need to go back and like revisit my brain and be like, stop doing that, because I like to show them like I do care about this relationship, and like I'm honoring you as my man, like, and I start spending a lot of time with them, and then I find myself not concentrating on the things that I'm supposed to be doing. So that's why I'm always like, to be honest, I'm the one that always breaks out with them. I'm like, oh no, I'm like, okay, it's going well for 3 weeks. I'm like, I should probably pause it before it become a real relationship. Because then I'm like, I don't want to have to deal with a heartbreak or like a breakup, because then I'm like, heartbreak takes me like a month to get over it. So I don't want to deal with that. So I'm like, let me concentrate on this.
Right.
And every time I feel good and I'm doing good, after I'm over like somebody's like some sort of breakup or something, and I'm doing good and I'm thriving, here comes somebody.
Yep.
Why?
It always
and
happens
they'll be like
way.
literally my type too, and I'm like, okay.
No.
And I'm like, who sent you? Huh?
Right. Did life send you to me right now?
To disturb my peace, or are you here to teach me a lesson? Which one is it?
Yeah, I think like I feel the same way. Sometimes I get wrapped up in it and I'm just like, no, like it's my life, my kids, and it's like scary because you've been through stuff, right? As a divorced person, and I'm a divorced person. So it's like you kind of already have an idea of like, let's not do that again.
Exactly, yeah.
But I think like dating also after your divorce is like validating. It's empowering.
It is very empowering, because I'm like, oh, I still got it. Okay.
Right, exactly. You're like, And I just remember like, I'll never forget. Like I remember like my ex had said some things prior of just like how difficult it would be for me to like.
Get into.
And I just remember like I wasn't even like ready, and I had like interest like someone interested in me, and I was just like, I was the one that was like, whoa.
Yeah, like calm down.
Yeah, let me get used to this single mom thing first.
Yeah, exactly. And that's one advice too. Like I would say, like go through your breakup and deal with the heartache. Like cry it out. Like deal with being alone, and then try to gain your self-love and everything back to the way you were before you get back to dating, because otherwise everybody else that you're dating is going to be a rebound.
Right.
And I wish guys could follow this advice, because
men
they break up with one person and then the next day I'm like, what? You're already back with this person. Sometimes it's frustrating. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm like, thanks. Okay. I'm always like, okay, let me make sure that the ex-girlfriends thank me because I broke up with this person is the reason why he went back to you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I mean, that's true. I think it's really healthy for people to be by themselves first, because it's like you need to know your value before someone else tries to do that, because I think a lot of people, not just women, but like everyone. A lot of people these days just seem to like, well, if that person likes me, then I must be valuable. I must be pretty. I must be strong. But, like, that's not how it is at all. And that's, like, the opposite way you should be doing it.
Exactly, because I feel like you need to show yourself more self-love so that way you can love other people. Because if you're constantly moving on to the next person, that means you're filling a void, and you feel like those people are the one validate the love that you should be giving yourself. So like that's why I'm always like, I don't want to deal with you or you. And I'm always like, I just want to be friends. And a lot of guys don't know how to be like, I can't be friends with you, you're a good looking girl. And I'm like, do you hear yourself? If all the guys said that to me, what should I just go and hook up with all of them? That makes no sense. Okay.
Right.
Sometimes I'm like, look at these men. I'm like, what is wrong with y'all?
Yeah.
I'm always like, let me speak to your mom.
Right. Let me talk to your mom.
Let me speak to your mom. You know, like you have to ask them the same way you would ask, like if you go to a restaurant and somebody's like a server's not doing their right job, you say, let me speak to your manager. I'm like, let me speak to your mom. I always say that to guys. So that way, because it almost kind of calms them down. I'm like, okay, because I'm a mom too, so I always wanted them to feel like, you know, I'm a mom, you know?
Yeah, that's what it is.
And it makes them comfortable, and all of a sudden it makes it kind of like easy going, and you like all of a sudden the guy who was like almost kind of like being kind of meanish or whatever, like attitude laughs it off almost all the times, unless they lost their moms, and that sucks. True. If you say that. Yeah.
No, that's true. I think men need to be put in their place sometimes.
They do. Is it hard for you to date with kids?
Yes.
Yeah.
It is. It's my fault because I'm really picky. I'm very protective. So, and I give my pat on the back.
Yeah,
for that
for sure.
Because like those kids are my world.
Exactly.
So,
yeah.
You know, like I really don't want just anyone meeting them, and like, because I don't need everybody to meet them, but I just want that one person that I trust to meet them. And so for me, and I know a lot of women are different, but like meeting my kids is like boss level. So it's like you get to that point, like
that
we're
means
real serious.
That means you're actually meant to be like, it's actually working out. Yeah. That's how I am too. Like nobody that I've talked to since I've gotten divorced has ever met any of my kids at all. I mean, they see them on Instagram, that's about it, but like you can't meet them, and like plus they have their own dad. Like, I don't need you, because like a lot of guys, you'd be like, am I gonna have to be their dad? I'm like, ew. No, you don't have to be their dad, you idiot.
Yeah, I get that question a lot. Like, are you, I don't know, like dating, like, are you trying to find a baby daddy, or are you like, and I'm just like, do I look like one? No. Like,
you're crazy. I'm like, are you gonna bring them on a date? I'm like, wow. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna bring my kids on a date. Sometimes I'll meet people and like it doesn't come up right away that I have kids, because I don't.
Oh yeah.
Because it's not like in the conversation, whatever. But then when we go on a date, I'll bring it up, and they're so shocked. They're like, "What? Do you have kids?" I'm like, yeah, and I was married too. And a lot of people don't know that I was married.
Yeah.
Because everybody thinks that I'm their age or whatever. I'm like,
you just take good care of yourself, girl.
Yeah, yes. Of course. Because I'm like, always stay prepared, guys. Ladies, so make sure you work out, okay? So that way, if he thinks he can leave you, you look good already, okay?
Okay.
So that way, and plus, like, I feel like if you always look good and you always take care of yourself, like, he's most likely not gonna want to leave you. But if he does leave you, he knows you have.
Right. He knows what he's leaving, and
Exactly.
someone else might find it.
Exactly,
so.
and it's like I always tell people still lost and stuff like that.
And I think like empowered women are the most dangerous women.
Oh, for sure.
Because we know how valuable we are, and we're not like just about to sell ourselves short and like let anybody meet our kids and enter our world and spend our precious time with.
Yeah, of course. So so what's your type, by the way?
Oh my god.
Oh, do you have a type at all?
I definitely do.
Oh, you do? Okay. All right, let's put it let's manifest it in the world, so that way, if anybody happens to see it and they like the way you look and it's your type, hey, you can reach her out.
Okay, yeah. So what you were just talking about, I definitely need a partner that's not intimidated by kids at all.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm definitely not someone where it's like you and I get together and like automatically I'm that stay-at-home person again. Like, I definitely need a partner that's okay, again, with me pursuing things. I'm okay with them pursuing things.
Exactly, yeah.
I think goals are super important. They're healthy. So,
oh, for sure, yeah.
I guess ambitious is definitely one of them.
Yeah.
I think ambitious men are sexy.
Oh, for sure.
I love it.
There's nothing more worse than a lazy guy.
Right.
I'm like, you're supposed to be like, especially like men are supposed to be seen as like providing. Mm-hmm. So, and then I'm not saying like I need a guy who's going to provide for me like all the way. Yeah. But like if you're not even providing anything, well, then please
leave.
Stay out of my way, okay? Yeah. Just admire me from afar. Exactly. Do not talk to me or touch me.
Yeah. Cheerleader, supportive. I think we talked about it earlier, but like I definitely need someone who's very supportive, someone who's not jealous, possessive, like because of what we do with our work or
exactly, especially modeling. Yeah.
So, and that's actually something I've encountered before in the past. So that's why I'm like,
sometimes I don't understand that. I'm like, you should be proud that you have a beautiful woman that a lot of guys admire, but she doesn't want them. She just wants you only. So I don't know why guys are so insecure about that. I'm like, what do you want? You want an ugly girl that nobody looks at? Okay, cool. Then you should not talk to me, okay?
Yeah. Humor is a big one.
Oh,
I cannot go through this life without a partner who's got humor. Like, because there's so many serious moments in this life. So it's like, and you have to uplift those times. And it's like having someone who can like make you laugh in the middle of that is like, gold.
Me too.
Just gold. But I like to be challenged.
Yeah, me too.
I need a man who will challenge me. That's the problem.
Me too.
I can't find someone that's going to challenge me. It's just kind of like, I think men are, to be honest, I think they're intimidated by me because because I make it all work. Like I have my own job, my place, I've got my own kids. Like I feel like I have things put together and
that's so true.
People get intimidated by that.
The only men who get intimidated is men who knows that they cannot provide for you or be as equal as you. Those are the only ones, because the right men who show up and who won't be intimidated by you, be like, wow, look at this woman like striving as a single mom, like she's gone through all these things, yet she's being so graceful, still like positive and things like that. So like the right men will show up. The ones who are intimidated are not meant for us. Right. So they just need to
get out of the way.
Just keep staring, guys. That's all you need to do.
Just keep admiring on the magazine.
From afar. From really afar.
But yeah, I think like someone who challenges me to, again, how high do you want to jump instead of don't do that. Don't, because like there's a lot of things I want to do in this life. And even with kids, I'm still finding a way to like do that.
Mm-hmm. And that's true.
So it's just having a partner also be that supportive and, hey, if you want to do this, let's look into this and whatever. That would be like so cool, is to have somebody just right on board trying to like help you grow. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the biggest one, because it's like we need to grow on our own, like you said, like be alone, love ourselves and stuff. But I think we also need that from our partner, because if you don't have that challenge, that support, that push with your partner, I feel like the relationship can get stuck.
That's true.
You can get too comfortable, and then all of a sudden, like you said, like the spice can die, and it's just boring.
It gets boring, yeah.
So I think always having those goals, whether it's individual, together, is like it's a beautiful thing when you and your partner can have friendly banters and like go on adventures together and like shoot the shit together.
That's true. Yeah. Do you care if a man has kids or not?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
So I think honestly it depends on the relationship he has with them.
Okay.
Because I have met other single dads, and I have dated other single dads. But yeah, as far as like how that goes, I think if they have good relationship with their kids, I'm open to it.
Yeah, you're open to it?
Yeah, but if it's something where like I don't know who my kid is, but I have a kid in the world, then I'm like,
yeah.
no, I think this is going to be a red flag for me.
For sure. Because if they're not taking care of their own kids, you don't even want them around you. Like, and do you see yourself having more kids, or you're done?
Yeah, I think with the right partner, I'd be open to one more. It's so natural when you meet someone, even if you say like, I'm done. When you meet them, it's like very normal, I think, for people to be like, I love this person, and
to I want to create like a little
mini me of both of us, and like I would be down for it. So I think at this point, it's just a matter like, do I want that person to come into my life right now?
Yeah, that's true. Me too. To be honest, I've been craving a kid right now, but then I'm also like, I'm literally getting into like everything and starting over and things like that. Do I want to ruin my career and everything else and start over? And I'm like,
yeah.
Somebody wants to do carry the baby for me, then I'll be down for it. But yeah,
I think, like you said, it's about the partner, right? So like if you meet someone and you know like this partner's amazing, they're supportive, like I feel like for you it'd probably be harder to say no at that point, because like maybe at that point, you know, they'll be supportive if you're doing like a shoot after the baby.
Yeah,
you know?
That's
and
true. Yeah.
I think you'd be like a pretty hot maternity model, so you can still.
That's one thing I've never even tapped into. But do I want to have a baby just to become a maternity model? No. So no thanks. We'll talk about this more often, like another time, because our time is kind of short. But did you want to add anything else? Any more tips or advice?
Tips and tricks
for like not so much the tricks, but any tips for like ladies who might be going through the divorce right now? Anything that you can give them? I'm trying to think, like, what did I do when I was going through my divorce? I remember when I went through my divorce, I started working at Massage Envy. So the massages, they helped a lot. So that was like one really beneficial job that I had at that time, because I was like, okay, I can get like massages for free all the time.
Right.
So that's like, it helped a lot to release the stress and stuff like that. And I worked out a lot, and yoga.
Ooh,
yeah.
Okay.
I would say yoga definitely, like, especially for your mind, like help you release. Like I found myself crying in yoga sometimes. Like I would tear up and stuff like that, but it helped me a lot. But it's okay to cry too, but like cry it out, because if you keep it in your heart, it's gonna explode one day. So just cry it out.
Yeah, I definitely have some tips, because crying out is on my list of it.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, be kind to yourself.
Exactly.
Everyone goes through difficult times, and like I don't ever think somebody should assume like there is one way to get through a divorce.
Yeah.
So definitely be kind to yourself and what you're feeling and thinking, and like you said, processing through all of that.
Yeah.
Because it is a process. Like nobody ever in one night is like, oh, I'm sad, and then they're just done and it goes on. But like it's a process.
It's a process, and it goes on. It goes on. There's days when you're happy, and there's days when you're sad. You know.
Right. Exactly. So be kind to yourself. Don't be afraid to ask for help if people, you know, friends, family want to step in. Maybe you're overwhelmed, because it can be very overwhelming.
Yeah.
So like, if you already have that support person, family, friend, like let them help you. Accept that help. There's nothing wrong with that. I think when you're going through divorce, like that is the time to allow people in your life to step up, to be there.
Exactly.
Because that too allows like for a beautiful moment for, for them, for you to accept and ask for. Because that's what I think relationships are about, is there are moments where we have to lean on each other, open up with each other. And so, yeah, don't be afraid to lean on your support system and ask for help. And then, just know that you're not the only one who goes through it, so you're not alone.
So don't,
People think that
even if you don't have a support group like close to you, I mean, you can always reach out to like online groups. I'm sure there's a lot of support groups like online for women going through divorces and stuff like that. Or if you don't want to have to go through like a really hardship like divorce, I would say do a prenup before. Like always think about doing a prenup before marriage. And it's not even like about like planning a divorce. It's like, this is the moment when you guys are both happy. This is the best time to make the decisions, like what would happen just in case if you and I happen to go different ways, and you guys can both decide on better decisions that can work for both of your family when nobody is angry at that moment, because then that's a better decision. So that way it's like, okay, the prenups are already made, so nobody suffers at the end, you know. I think that's the best way to look out for each other, so that way you don't suffer, and like, of course, don't give up on yourself. And
oh well, therapy is amazing.
So I wish I had taken therapy, but you know, because I'm African, I was like, oh, black people don't do therapy. I've always felt like that, but like, you know, I need to get over that thinking. But I also like watch a lot of like shows that were like therapeutical, like women going through divorces, and I would watch it and I was just like, okay, this is what to do and this is what not to do. So I just kind of like, I don't know, and when I go through things, I say to myself, to be honest.
Oh really?
Yeah, I really say to myself, like 2019 I was like literally antisocial, because I was like, I'm going through this and I don't want to put anybody through my misery. I was like, I feel like this is miserable time for me, and I don't want to like people around me, and like I like to be around people when I'm happy, and then like I pull myself away from like
pull away
pull
so
away
look
from
for those cues
pull away because I'm very, I don't know, like and also I just want to say, like, Aquarius men, stay away from me.
What?
Aquarius men, stay away
Aquarius
from me,
men?
because literally my ex-husband was an Aquarius. The only two guys who've ever broken my heart are Aquarius, and I'm like, stay away from me.
So
this is a dedication for the people who have been trying to talk to me. Look, Matt is laughing because he's an Aquarius too.
Oh no. Age of Aquarius.
No, please stay away from me. Literally, I don't know how. Like, nobody else can break my heart other than Aquarius man. I don't know why. Because I'm always like vulnerable around them, because I'm like, oh, you're just like me. Oh, and then I forget.
No.
You are just like me. I forget that. You break hearts.
I gave up the whole like astrology thing a long time ago.
No, me too. I should get it.
Nope. Let's not ask your sign because I will judge you.
I know.
Hard. And then I'll be like that chick that's like on their phone like, oh, it's his birthday.
I know,
like,
right?
I don't want to be that person. I have a life.
Dude, it's so annoying because I find myself reading their horoscope too. But it's like, okay, I already know it's in Aquarius. I'm like, okay, leave it alone. But yeah, oh my God, Miyanna, it was such a pleasure talking to you. Hope to see you, like, to get you back here again, like when we have like a girl empowerment before you leave. Oh yeah. Did you want to talk about that?
Oh my God, yeah.
Let's talk about it real quick and then we'll have to leave because we got maybe like 5 minutes. I know we're going over the time.
No worries. Yeah.
Sorry, Matt.
No worries. So, I'm moving to Colorado. I know I'm breaking some hearts, but
I'm sad because I just got to know you.
I'm so sad. Like I was crying, and I know I'm gonna cry when I actually do move, but I'm excited for it because, you know, when we talk about like empowering and support, I think right now in my kids' lives and our lives, like it's the best time to be moving and get that and receive that, and I'm excited.
Yeah,
I'm really
that's
excited.
Good. I'm glad.
So we have like a cute place picked out, and I'm just I hear that there are more modeling agencies in Denver. So
oh, really?
I'm excited about
that's good to know. You know what? I've always wanted to visit Denver. So, like, once you get settled, maybe I'll come visit you.
Yes, you will have so much fun.
Yeah,
they're beautiful, beautiful hiking places, like just a few minutes away from us.
Yeah. Remember we talked about heights? So we'll have to find some flat trails.
No red rocks then.
Yes. All right, Miyanna, it's a pleasure to have you. You're amazing. And I appreciate you, to be honest. I appreciate your story. And I hope your story inspires other women to keep thriving, to keep going. Because, hey, if she can make it, y'all can make it too.
I can do it.
Okay. Yes. Well, it's been a pleasure, everyone. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in at Destination Unknown with Doreen. Peace and love always.